Hello everyone, welcome to the post-match review. Manchester United 3, Ipswich 2. I'm going to start us off with one word, how we all feel right now. Just one word and what I'm going to ask you for, and the same people in the chat as well. I'm going to go with relief. Sam?
I put the tagline on the thumbnail and stuff, more twisted an M. Night Shyamalan movie. That's pretty much where you are.
That's not one word.
That's not one word.
But that's, I had no idea what, like, Clueless. Probably.
What is it? What's an M. Shyamalan? What? What's that?
You know, the Sixth Sense and the movies with Unbreakable, where there's always a twist at the end.
Okay.
And it just keeps, you don't know what's going to happen throughout the thing. That's basically what that game was. I had no idea where it was going. One
word to describe that game, Civir?
You took my word. Relief.
Yeah, you could do whatever other words people can think of for relief. It's very, very fitting. From Michael Jackson, Philogene, moonwalking at Old Trafford, to Dorgu with the red card, to the ref having a stinker, I thought, in my opinion. Us scoring 3 set pieces. I don't know where you want to go with this one, lads. So, Sam, just kick us off with whatever feels right. Whatever you want to talk about. Speak to me.
We're staying up, lads. Relegation's off the cards, I think.
Definitely staying up for sure.
Right now. There's a positive.
Confirmed.
Yeah. Scoring for set pieces. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
No.
I didn't have like scoring for 3 set pieces on my bingo card, so that was surprising. Really well delivered from Bruno Fernandes, I thought. First one we got very lucky with the Morsi for Ipswich. It goes in. But the other two I thought really well delivered. Really well sort of taken, but at the back of the net. So yeah, really happy with the set piece goals, because we know how long we've been for being shit on set pieces and defending set pieces. So it's been a long time coming. So yeah, I'm happy with that part. We could touch on Onana and Dorgu. I mean, later on if you want to just isolate those incidents entirely. But those were the positives for me. Dorgu, I thought up until he got sent off, had a good game.
Yeah.
Bruno had a really good game as well. I thought Xerxes is a good game as well. So yeah, there was some positives in there for sure.
Yeah, it's if you can do it just whilst I'm going through this, the little gap above your head where you just like thingy it just a little bit, because you look like a floating head at the minute. If you want to do that, you can do, but I don't know if it's going to be sustainable. Like standing up like that and speaking.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a gap above your head. So yeah, there we go. That's better. I'll do. If you can, if it's sustainable. But yeah, it's a hard game to analyse that, isn't it, Civir? Because there's so many things that have happened. Just give us your overall assessment of it. How are you feeling after that, the final whistle? I
would have taken anything. I didn't care how we played. I just wanted 3 points. For me, like I was just like, I don't know how we do it, but we just need to get the 3 points. And then we can, the next couple of games, we can focus on how we play. But going into the FA Cup, I thought it was important that we went in with the win, regardless of how we got that. And it was good to go with set pieces from defenders. Sam, you mentioned earlier that it was a bit unlucky for them. I thought it was forced. I mean, it was forced because it was a really good ball.
I know, it was a great free kick. It was a great free kick.
Yeah.
I just mean because we didn't get on the end of it, like, but it was a really good free kick.
Oh yeah. So it was really good. And I have to say, Bruno, today that was a captain's performance.
Leadership.
I mean, you guys know how much I've been slating him for,
I was actually going to open with that, Civir. I was going to open with that, saying that because we have criticised him before, but he did show a lot, even towards the end, in the corner, like the little subtle kind of things. Wait, like didn't take it, and then like waited him to step forward, and he's like, no, go back, then took it. Like little things like that, nuanced things, I think are important.
Yeah, and we've criticised him as well when he plays in the deeper roles. But today he really, calmed it. It was just a captain's performance today.
Yeah, I agree.
The deliveries from the corners, the free kicks, everything was just, and he just seemed to keep his head. Even times when he was shouting at people and stuff, but he wasn't really losing it. Everything he was doing was kind of justified. So I was really impressed with that. I was happy for him for putting in that sort of performance. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I just wanted to win, regardless of how we did it, and we went and did it. And also, another name that we need to mention is Euro. Euro played really well today. In moments.
All the defenders did. All the defenders did really well.
In moments, and and Dilip didn't really have a good game on the left hand side when he played Everton. He was really bad when he played, and Euro
better on the
played,
right. Well, better on the right.
Yes, and Euro was really, really, positive to this. So yeah, that's a good one. Good one.
Is it did it surprise you, Sam? That was, I thought, like, look, we did the basics right, and I think DeLay and Maguire in particular, for me personally, when they're defending on the edge of the box, I do feel like it's easier for them, and it's more naturally fitted to them rather than the defending spaces, right? So it almost plays into their game by having 10 men. I think you saw that with Arsenal as well. But did it surprise you how bad Ipswich was as well? Because I thought there was no kind of penetrative passes. It was very tippy-tappy around the edges. And then at the 93rd, they started going long, and I was like, weird, isn't it?
Well, they're in the position they're in for a reason, aren't they? They're in the bottom three. They're on the same amount of points as Leicester, and everybody thinks Leicester are gone. So, like, they're in the same position as Leicester, on the same point. So, like, they're in that place for a reason. Like, they're not getting enough goals. They're not creating enough chances. And you saw that as a result. Like, with the wins that they have seen, they've been really narrow, haven't they? They've been like 1-0s and 2-1s and stuff like that. They haven't scored a lot of goals. Delap's, I think, Delap scored like sort of 40% of the goals that they've scored into all season, I think. So that shows you where they're at and how important he is, how integral he is to that team. So yeah, it didn't really shock me. What did shock me was, our defenders having a really good game for once. Like, De Ligt stepped up. Maguire looked really, really good, but you're right, playing on the edge of the box does sort of like benefit them. But Yoro, really, really good. I thought he had an excellent game. Dorgu until he got sent off, which we'll touch on. I think the only player that I sort of looked at and was like, he needs to go, apart from the goalkeeper, is Dallo. I thought Dallo
he made a few mistakes there. A few mistakes.
Horrifically bad.
In particular.
Yeah, so there was a couple of negatives in there, but for the most part, the defenders I thought did really well, which helps when, like you said, Ipswich are not creating too many clear-cut chances. But we took our chances on the set pieces. We didn't have many clear-cut chances, but set pieces went in and we put them in the back of the net, which is clinical and what we need to be doing.
Yeah, it is one of those things in it, Chivy, with set pieces where you're thinking, like, obviously Arsenal at times were I don't want to compare us to Arsenal. That's the last thing I want to do, especially when I'm talking to yourself. But when Arsenal struggled to score goals, they did rely on set pieces. Is this maybe an avenue we can navigate now with the players? Because we have got a lot more height in the team now, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we can look into. I mean, if we're not creating that many chances, then obviously it makes sense to go in for set pieces and that. And I think we're slowly getting better. I think one really key thing that we're improving on is the deliveries. Because if you remember, most of the deliveries were just rubbish. Like, they
hitting the first man.
On the
just
corner.
First man, or they just hit the wall, or just
that's the thing. And then it was floated in, it would just go way over. But then now, all the balls Bruno is playing in is like threatening. Every single one of them is threatening. So I think that's a good. That's a really good improvement there. As far as set pieces, I think we just need to do a little bit more defending them. I don't know if Ipswich were poor with the set pieces today, but we kind of look comfortable most times. When we defended the set pieces, so I don't know if that's a case of it being Ipswich. Even when we went down to 10 men, they had a few corners towards the end. But then defensively as well, another thing I wanted to add to what Sam was saying was we forced them wide, so we didn't give them any options through the middle, and we literally just kept forcing them wide. And that was a really good thing. One thing I did notice, however, was, and I haven't noticed this before, maybe it was just in this game, but sometimes it looks like our defenders, the three, in attack, in defense, it looks like they struggle to pick off a target man. So there were a few times when the left would run in, and then there would be a slight hesitation from Maguire or it was like, well, whose man is that? That sort of thing.
Confusion.
And I noticed it twice today, and I was like, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just part of the system that they need to pick up. But yeah, I mean, we really can't complain that much today. I think, apart from Onana, of course, like that was just.
I mean,
terrible.
That's communication again, isn't it? He's clearly not told Dorgu. He's rushing out to the box. Expected his goalie to be on his line, and then he's right in front of him, and he's just fucking.
Yeah, because he's keeping his eye on the ball. So the ball is there. So he's keeping his eye on the ball, so he doesn't see Onana coming in, and then that sort of thing happens. But apart from that, like he just looked poor and shaky today. And guys, man, right?
That free kick. How's that free kick got in?
Yeah.
How's that free kick got in, man? That's.
Aaron called Hoyland at the bag of rice, and I was thinking Rice Hoyland. Like he was. Yeah,
Ricemus Hoyland, did you just say?
Ricemus. Yeah.
Oh my goodness me!
Because Aaron called him the bag of rice.
Wow.
And I was like, he.
Struggled.
We should have taken him off instead of Garnacho, honestly, because he doesn't give us anything.
I also thought as well, the other sub that we made, so we took Garnacho off, and obviously people were questioning that. I weren't too fussed at the time because I feel like we needed a bit more of a defensive mindset player in Mazraoui coming on, and Hoyland was kind of occupying the centre backs. I get why people wanted Garnacho on because he's a bit more of a direct threat. That one I wasn't as thingy at. It was when it took Hoyland off as well, and then brought on Casemiro as well on top of it. And then I'm like, you've got no pace in that team whatsoever now. If it goes up top to Xerxes, he's going to drop in and hold it up for you. Who's the counters? Where are the runners coming from? You saw Bruno do it, and he was fucked. He literally had to say, give me a minute. He went, fucking hell, give me a minute.
Do you remember when he ran with the ball, and he got all the way up, and he put the ball across for Mazraoui, and Mazraoui didn't quite get there. And then he turned around, and you just saw his face go, and then he started fucking running back.
Time to run back, yeah.
Legs
but
for days.
I get that because I think at that time we're leading. It was, I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes to go, something like that. So he wanted to just throw up the midfield. So I get that was a defensive switch. So I kind of get him bringing Casemiro in and him and Ugarte and just bringing a bit more physicality in there. If you can use that with Casemiro. So I kind of get that. But leaving Hoyland on, honestly, guys, if you really, really watch, it doesn't do anything for us. Literally doesn't. So even if you're like Vegas didn't get that many goals, but you could see what he was doing.
Dragging players away, wasn't it? Spatially.
Then Hoyland, Sam has been going on about, no one passes to him and all that kind of stuff. Euro gives him the ball on a play.
Dummies it.
Fucking dummies. It's like, come on, man. Like, this is your chance to score. You're wearing the fucking number 9 jersey. Like, this is your chance. You haven't scored for ages. Yeah. Who are you trying to dominate?
I can't imagine Van Persie or Van Nistelrooy dummying that. Not a chance.
Nobody dummies that. No one. Honestly. So it's like, man, I don't know. Like, some hard conversations need to be had with him. Honestly.
I think so.
Because, I mean, if you don't score, at least offer something. You can't pass. You can't, and I kind of feel bad for him, but it just has to be said, really. It really just has to be said.
Ricemus Hoyland is a violation, though. I've got to say that is strong. But we know Aaron, to be fair, like, remember he was the one who said about Donny for the bibs, wasn't it?
When Aaron doesn't like a player, it's on.
He doesn't like a player. He does not.
There's nothing. I'm telling you, you could score 100 goals, man.
We should have got him on. It would have been. It would have been interesting. We've actually managed to go through the game, Sam, without mentioning the biggest incidents. Arguably, I know you glazed on the Onana situation. Can I say something right? And I get your reaction to it. I think it's being overplayed how bad it was. It was bad. But I think people are jumping on it more than what they should.
Oh yeah, because it's Onana, isn't it? So of course they're gonna.
I think the cross and to explain
the free kick. Is it a free kick where it comes?
No, it's Philly Jean. Whatever. I keep saying Billy Jean. Philly Jean cuts it. Yeah, like you can see it, can't you? Philly Jean. If they don't have a chant for him at Ipswich, what are you doing?
Pay us now. Pay us for that.
It's a tap-in. You can have it. It's yours, But he cuts in on the left, and obviously he crosses it in. Onana's doing a bit of like a Casper slide part 2, and he's kind of like dancing on his feet. But at the same time, it is hard to predict, like, if it's going to be a touch.
Because Delap is going in.
Yeah.
And Delap actually attempts to play.
Yeah, so you got to gamble in a way. It's the tricky one. It's the first one that I have more of an issue with personally, but I also think both could be at fault for that as well, a little bit. That's in my opinion.
The first one, there's no communication going on there, is there?
No.
Onana's not shouting him that he's coming out, and Dorgu's not communicated to Onana that it's my ball, I've got it or something.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to say something to the other one.
Absolutely.
You can't just go in because Dorgu's going, looking at the ball like Chivi said, and expecting his goalie to be in his 6-yard area so he can just get it and knock it back to him. Onana's going, Dorgu might not get this. I'm going to come out and claim it. And nobody's told the other player that that's what they're doing. And that's how you end up in that situation. Lack of communication. And the same with Chivi said with like Maguire and De Ligt going, is it your man, my man? Like, who's going? Who's going? There's no communication. There's no patterns where they're like, I know what he's going to do. So I don't have to look where he is. I know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody's sure about where anybody plays or how they are. Like, this team is just like, there's no chemistry. There's no fluidity anywhere in the team.
Yeah. To say it was an eventful night for Dorgu would be an understatement, wouldn't it, Shiv? Obviously, you had that situation literally within the first 3 minutes, and we go 1-0 down. But then, obviously, the red card as well. What was your initial reaction to that when it first happened? Was you straight away red card?
I kind of knew, like, from the replays, that it was a red card, but I really felt sorry for him because football happens so quickly.
50-50. It's a 50-50.
Yeah, this incident, it happens really quickly. Like, he's obviously not going for the leg. He's trying to stop the ball, and it just happens that way. And it's just, sometimes I just feel like red cards, like, intent should be taken into consideration, this kind of thing.
It's but like if the studs are up and it's like that's it, it's a red guy. It doesn't matter what happened before or what he's doing. It's just
if you actually get a bit of the ball. I'm pretty sure he
goes over the top of the ball.
I'm sure it like connects to the ball a bit, and that's why it's like that's why I was like,
Yeah, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It wasn't enough. The connection wasn't enough. Like, do you remember that Martinez challenge where he 2-foot someone?
Oh yeah.
Now that was a red card.
That's intense.
Even after review.
Yeah.
You know?
That's GBH basically.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It happened with the Bournemouth game. Is it Zabani? Is that the centre got sent off? Same thing happened to him. He slid in, and then the ball goes underneath his foot, and it bounces his leg up, and then his studs go up higher than they would do if he was just sliding, and he gets sent off because all the ref sees on the replay is a slow motion of the studs smashing into the guy's leg. So he's like, oh, it's a red. But if you look at what happens, he bounced off the ball. It's an accident. So
and the thing with refs is, even if they want to let it go, because it's happened before, they want to avoid, for the whole week, everyone's going to talk about, So even if he wants to like, when he called Dogu over, do you remember, he actually explained, sometimes they just go straight red.
Yeah.
But he called him over, gave him a little talk, and then gave him the red card.
Yeah.
So, it's you can tell, like, he was like, listen, it's unfortunate, but I have to send you off.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't knock his confidence, because I'll be honest, I know this is jumping way too early, but I think it's a player there, me, from what I've seen from him so far. Genuinely.
Also impressive, because even after the own goal, he actually came back. He had a few shaky moments, and then he came back into the game. He literally came back. So I think he'll be able to brush this aside.
Yeah, it looks like he could just deal with it, innit? Like, because it was quite a back and forth game. He's not really used to the intensity of the Premier League, the atmosphere. Like, it's completely different to Italy, right? So going into this, and then he had a few shaky moments. Could have been very easy for him to just go, I need to take a breather, just give it away straight away. But he was still getting on the ball, still a couple of 1v1 duels I watched on that left-hand side. He was bullying him, nicking it off him, bombing forward, putting crosses into the box.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So
one thing I've heard about, like, with players, like, I've heard, like, a few ex-players say this. It's like, when you mess up and all that, sometimes you need to have the ball a few times just to kind of. And him and Euro kept giving themselves the ball, and he started going in confidence. Do you remember when I noticed it kind of shifted when he won a tackle, fell down, the ref hasn't blown, and then he's on the floor, and he manages to make the pass while he's on the floor.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that, after that, he just kind of, sometimes you just need that one moment, to just kind of get you over that hump.
I think there's as well, like, when he's putting balls into the box, and it's like, how long has it been since we've seen a fullback like manage to get balls into the box and stuff? And I think if we can get, whether it's Quenda, whether it's whoever, if we can get a decent right wing back on that side, that opens up so many avenues, because everything's just going down the left now, isn't it? It's Garnacho and Dorgu. That's our outlets at the minute. Otherwise, Bruno from set pieces and stuff. But that's our outlet at the minute. And if they're not there, we struggle to sort of find a chance or create a chance. So if we can get another wing back on the right hand side, Quendo or whatever, we've got some intent. Then this system will start to click into place once we get those in place. Because I think, yeah, you're right, Nick. Dorgu is a really good prospect, I think.
You look at that left-hand side, so young as well. Yoro's 19, Garnacho's 20, Dorgu's 20. And they were probably obviously Bruno Fernandes was good as well, but they was the players who looked really good, the youngsters. I prefer Yoro personally on that left-hand side. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I think maybe because it's how bad De Ligt is on that left-hand side that I prefer him there. But I would rather go with that. And obviously build forward with the same kind of forward that we've got. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting, man. There was a few situations in that game. The Dorgu red was the obvious one that completely changed it. I thought at the time, fucking hell, here we go again. But the one thing I'll say is they did it at Arsenal and they've just done it again. So the accusations that's been thrown at these players with certain coaches that they're not scrapping, and it has happened sometimes. They have down tools. They had the odd game where they're not running and they've been bollocked. I think a lot under Amorim at the minute. I don't know what he said at half time, but they did it, didn't they? You know, the 10 men down. Fighting. They fought. They made smart decisions in the right moments. I know Ipswich kind of played into it as well. I thought Ipswich were really poor. Really poor. I mean, at that point, lads, surely you're just putting balls into... You just, I don't know why they waited till the 93rd minute. In the 75th, they should have started applying pressure, chucking balls into the box. There's a scramble.
Just spam it into the box. And just cause problems.
Obviously, the ticky you know, the whole kind of pep setup, if you want to call it, it was doing nothing. It was no effective. We was dealing with that like a breeze, mate. No problems whatsoever. I never felt threatened. I can't remember Onana making a save in that second half.
No.
I forgot we're down to 10. I actually forgot. There were times when I was forgetting we were down to 10. So, yeah, that's good. And also, I know it wasn't really a good game, but they showed some spirit in coming back against Everton as well. So it's one of those things where it's like there's still something there. There's still a little bit something.
I saw it when Ugarte gets on the ball and Delap about 3 times tries to shove him over and tries to like sort of basically wind him up. Eventually gets him down. He stands up, squares up to Delap, and then Mazraoui comes over and just fucking shoves him out of the way.
I'm like,
that. These guys are fighting for each other. Like they give a shit. Like they're fucking coming in and protecting each other. And I like a guy squaring up to him, going, hey, "Yeah, I'm what, mate?" And then Mazraoui sort of getting involved. It's like, I like to see that. That's what I want to see from the players, giving a shit.
I remember when he went down. I think it was Xerxes and Mazraoui rushed there. So when he went down, Xerxes was kind of stood over him. Then De Ligt.
De Ligt was like
he grabs Xerxes. He was like, "You've got yellow." Like, off,
use your fucking head. What are you doing?
Oh, wait, you dickhead.
Well, again, that's young players, right? Ugarte 23, Xerxes 23. Like all these players we're talking about, they're relatively young, so it'll come with experience. I don't want to ignore the comments because there's quite a few, so let me just read a few out. Tim99 lead in the comments with "We're staying up, we're staying up, we're staying up." Rayanator, we won, and that game still makes me want to cry in the shower with the sad music on. Bloody hell, man. Credit to Bruno, though. Rescued 4 points in 2 games. Lads, I feel like we're going to have the difficult conversation about Onana. I said it's not difficult. It's not a difficult conversation. If we get to the summer and he goes, lads, I want to move. But where's your suitcase, mate? Are you taking carry-on bag, or what do you want? I can provide it for you, no problem.
Him and Dallo, both of them can fuck off. They can both fuck off, like both of them.
Ugly 3 points, but I'll take it. Hutchinson was fouling Dorgu until Dorgu gave him some payback, getting the ball first, unable to stop the momentum. I'm going to try to go toes down, not cleats up. Orange for me. Interesting. The sad thing about that is not just the red card in itself. It's the fact he won't be able to play the next couple of games. That's what I'm worried about. Because now, lads, it's back to Dallo.
Dallo on the left back. Way.
It's like, and then you got no threat.
Are the youth really that bad, or are they just really not ready?
Harry Amas. That's the option, isn't it?
Amas is from all the reports I read from the Athletic when Ten Hag was there.
Ten Hag
saying he's not defensively, he's really not ready.
He's not. We've seen that before.
They tried to loan him in January and just didn't end up getting him to go anywhere either. So it's just like
pre-season, he looked a little bit as well. Like
Yeah,
he's
we
good
saw
going
that,
forward. He's on the ball technically he's really good, but defensive flair, especially athletic side of things as well, covering distances. I don't think he's there either. So Punch saying big up Chivy, Nick, Sam, absolute legends. Thank you very much, sir. Majority seems to be okay. That's a positive. Absolutely. Yeah. If not for our summer signings, we'd have lost many more games this season. I mean, Yoro, Dorgu. Well, it's not summer signing, but I take your point. Man of the match, a question from random guy.
Ooh, Bruno. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Bruno Maguire, maybe. One of them.
Maguire had a good game. He dealt with the lap, I think, to be fair, for the majority. I mean, there was obviously moments
Are they friends? Because they kept taking each other and all that.
They were talking a lot, weren't they? They were chatting like all the way through.
I don't like that, mate.
Even during the melee, just shortly after that melee, the lap is running up and Maguire like tapped him on the chest and then they laugh and all that. What's that?
And Maguire got a goal as well. So
yeah.
Danny's saying not difficult. I'm done with Onana. Brought in for his presence of playing out, given neither De Gea would have kept us in the top 10 this season. I am doing a video on the members channel for Onana specifically and going through his time at United, and it is buckle up because it's going to be a big one. So yeah, if you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell and join Tim99, join Random Guy, and join the rest of the members if you would like to. Big game players going with Maguire for his man in the match. Random's going with Ugarte. It's interesting. I didn't really notice Ugarte.
He was decent.
Decent enough. Kind of did his job, innit? Like, I know I sound like Roy Keane there, but do your job. Do your job. I thought it was okay. But look, obviously much more games oncoming. We've got Fulham in it at the weekend at Old Trafford again. Have we finally broke the curse, lads, of Old Trafford, or just a one-off?
I mean, it was a difficult fucking win, wasn't it? It wasn't simple, was it?
No.
Player sent off. Onana mistake. There was a lot of sort of trouble in there. Once we could do a nice simple win, 2-0 win with no drama, I think then it'll be banished. But until that point, I think it's still a bit nervy. Yeah.
Because did you think, just to kind of round it off, do you think at moments before the red card, was there anything you liked in particular, Chivy, from the actual patterns of play? Do you think we looked any better on the pitch, or did you see it like more as the same?
It was really scrappy game. Just before the red card, the Ipswich players started losing their heads. So there was lots of like tackles flying in. We started to build a bit of confidence on that left-hand side with Yoro, with Dogu, and Bruno was dropping in as well. So there was a few patterns of play, but then one thing that definitely picked up was the atmosphere. The players kind of seemed up for it, and I think that would have carried on. I wish, obviously, I wish we could see what that would have looked like in the second half, because we would have just gone all the way through. But I mean, listen, I'm not complaining about anything. I know there were a few howlers, for the goal and stuff. But I'm just glad that we had 3 points and we can go into the FA Cup game, with a win. And, because it's really important, because we have that game, and then I think we've got the Europa League game after that.
Mm-hmm.
The Thursday after, yeah. So we need all the confidence we can get. And it's something to build up on. Had a red card, 10 men, played for, more than a half. It's something for the players to take on.
Yeah. Well, we are, Sam, up to the mighty 14th now. 1 point above West Ham, so slowly climbing that table. But more importantly, we are 16 points ahead of Ipswich Town in 18th. So the relegation cloud, I think, has completely gone. But I have to offer you that with some bad news, and that is that Liverpool have just won 2-0 over Newcastle, and they are now 13 points ahead of Arsenal, and they're probably going to win the league. So apples and oranges.
Where can we go hide after this title win? Like, because this is the worst Premier League season in our history, and Liverpool are about to win a title. So we need to go hide somewhere, don't we? Because Jesus Christ,
I'm just happy I'm not a monk. Honestly.
But you know what?
Not a mank.
I'm not a mank.
Would you say if Arsenal win the league, is that as bad as Liverpool winning the league for me?
Yeah. That's what it's like for me. So
Yeah.
I'm not a monk, so I don't really have the Liverpool kind of. I hate them, I do, but then it's not. I didn't grow up with any Liverpool
Tribal.
fans. I don't really know. I don't
It's
have.
not in your blood.
many people-
It's not in your blood, but
Yeah, I don't have anyone to banter or anything. I just grew up with Arsenal fans, so it's like I don't have any. So if they win, it's like yeah, okay, you know. But,
Yeah, I get it. I'm
So
sure
no.
there's some people in the chat who would be a bit thingy about that, but I get it.
I really didn't want to say it because I knew like the knives would come out
Yeah,
for me and the
people like,
pitchforks.
pitchforks. Yeah. But yeah, it's about perspective in it, lads. I suppose we're having a shit season, but that could have been a lot worse. 10 men down, we could have lost that game, and we'd be sat here a lot miserable. So let's just take the fucking win. Let's just take a win at a minute in isolation, and then we will dive into the game against Fulham where we've got Dallow at left wing back, and I'm sure we'll all be losing our heads again. So I think that's a perfect. Go on.
There's two comments that I want to bring to your attention. Nick, did you find out who your vice captain was after the Isaac situation? That's from Raynator.
Salah, it was.
Okay.
So Salah
There
got
you
an
go.
assist, I think, today. So
And then, does anybody fancy a trip to Tampa, lads, and meet our good friend Joel?
Imagine the shock on his face for some lads, for United fans. Like, hey, Joel, have a conversation, mate.
What's that?
Anyway,
Joel Glazer.
Yeah, don't matter.
Oh,
Look,
right.
you've had your tea now. Get your blanket, Chivy. You know, we can.
I've had a Bovril.
A Bovril.
No,
A Bovril. Oh, I thought you was being genuinely serious then. A fucking Bovril. A Bovril and eye drops before bed. Oh my goodness me. You see what you're doing to me, United? This is the effects that you're having. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway. Appreciate every single one of you. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Sam. This has been Chivy. This has been a review of the Ipswich game. We've won 3-2. It's 3 points and we're not getting relegated. Happy days, people.